Hello, and welcome to PremiumBytes, where we shine a light on the unsung world of insurance technology leaders. I am Sudhar Krishnamachari, one of your co-hosts, and with Samir Ahmed, our other co-host, we're here to have meaningful conversations about the evolving technology landscape inside the insurance industry. Let's acknowledge it. Being an insurance firm CIO or Chief Information Officer is one of the toughest leadership roles in today's world. You've got a risk-averse mindset baked into the very fabric of the industry, a legacy estate that must complement the modern tech, and a talent crisis from both the retiring side and next-gen recruiting side. And then you got the slower pace of innovation. We see it because we're right there in the trenches with you as consultants day in and day out. Our mission is to deep dive, have conversations that carry substance, offer practical insights, and help you validate and navigate the relevant challenges of being an effective CIO in the insurance sector. So thank you for joining us on this adventure. Let's jump right into our next conversation.
Bill Harris, welcome to PremiumBytes. How are you doing?
Hey, Samir, I'm doing well. Thank you. Thank you for having me. It's great to be on.
Yeah, it's a pleasure to have you. You know, you've got quite the show going on for past 10 years, coming up in 4 weeks here.
Yeah.
So
busy time.
What's
busy
the headline for
year.
ITC Vegas this year?
Yeah, it's a busy time. We're really excited about ITC Vegas, the 14th to the 16th of October. Gosh, you know, there's a lot that's new. There's a lot that's the same in the last 10 years. You know, I'm kind of the, if it ain't broke, don't fix it formula. Like, let's double down on what's working. I'll just highlight, real quick, one of the things that we're really excited about is something we really did for the most part, in mass last year, which was our neighborhood concept, right? As ITC Vegas has grown in the last 10 years, this is our 10th year of ITC Vegas, our 9th in person. We had 2,000, obviously. We did virtually. We started off with 1,500 people that first year. Last year, we had over 9,000 people. And people say, hey, it's great. Everyone is here, right?
Yeah.
Like, if I want to meet anyone, like, we have been blessed with great breadth and great depth of our audience. However, people say there's so many people, it's hard to find people, like physically, like logistically, because like the expo hall is massive. We have 700 exhibitors or so. So what we did a couple of years ago, actually, when we brought the ITC LATAM show into Vegas, we carved out a LATAM section, neighborhood per se, on our expo floor. So that was very successful. The Latin American audience were able to find each other. Everyone knew where to go. Everyone knew where the content was, where the stage was, all that stuff. Super easy. So we said, hey, everyone's been saying that about, for example, life, health, and benefits. Everyone thinks it's a P&C show, and we actually have nearly 2,000 people who are involved in life, health, and group benefits and annuities. So we said, let's do the same thing for that area. Mm-hmm. So we carved out a life, health, and benefits area. We're doing that again this year. And again, with agents and brokers, like particularly independent agents, folks that are, really on the front lines of distribution of insurance. Insurance is sold, not bought, as that maxim goes, right? They were saying, hey, it's hard to find, again, our flock. So we're carving out a distribution area focused on agents, brokers, and MGAs, right? So we're really excited about that. Of course, there's still an innovation area. We have our innovation and demo stage for the startups who are doing demos and pitches and that kind of thing. We do VC office hours in that area. We have our startup kiosks in that area. So we kind of have these different neighborhoods on the expo hall floor where we also have some stages. And then the rest of the stages are upstairs on the second floor. We do all the breakout sessions. We're running literally, like, I think, I lost count. I want to say 12, maybe 13 concurrent stages, simultaneous stages on Wednesday and Thursday. We also have ITC agents and brokers kicking off on Tuesday, our kickoff day. Again, for that independent agent community, for that community that's actually very busy, in production, talking to the end customer. We have something for them on Tuesday. We have a performance and sales and performance marketing track also this year. We have a complete cyber summit on Thursday this year. There's a lot. We have a golf tournament. I'm a golf junkie. I'm wearing my my golf gear. We're kicking off this year's show with the inaugural ITC Vegas golf tournament right next door at Valley High. There's still a couple slots available, so there's a lot that's new that's happening. But in the end, it all comes down to connecting.
Yeah.
ITC is the world's largest gathering of insurance innovation, and there's just so much to see and discover. There's so many great people to connect with. It's just going to be a fantastic show once again.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it and can't wait to be there and soak in all the energy in person. So, what's this with Wonderland and ITC Vegas this year?
Yeah, so we love the theme. Last year we had a space theme. We had our keynote speaker was Captain Scott Kelly, the NASA astronaut, and we really threw it out there as, hey, let's kind of put a theme around the show, and folks really leaned into it. So that was fun. So we decided to do that again this year with a Wonderland theme, just the Wonderland of possibilities. And it kind of ties into artificial intelligence, right? AI is on the tip of everyone's tongue. Everyone's trying to figure out, how do I implement it? How do I actually, gain a competitive advantage through AI? How can I serve my customers better through AI? And so we think it opens up that wonderland of opportunity, wonderland of possibilities within the insurance ecosystem. So we're leaning into that, and the exhibitors and a lot of folks, you'll see that in the design and the aesthetic of the show. It's going to be really interesting again this year. So yeah, it's very exciting. And it's
Yeah,
fun too.
definitely sounds fun for sure. So, as you mentioned, we're about 4 weeks out or so from October 14th. How's it shaping up? Maybe a telling metric, right? Number of registrants, a number of exhibitors, perhaps the mix of audience that's going to be there.
Yeah, so shaping up really well. We're on par to have as many people as we had last year, if not more. So it's shaping up in a very similar way. Another key indicator to us as event organizers is, we reserve hotel rooms in Las Vegas, right? We are way ahead of our schedule of hotel room reservations.
Okay.
So a lot of times people will book their hotel and then get their registration. So that's a telltale sign for us as event organizers that we're going to have actually a stronger year than last year. But everything's really shaping up exceptionally well. Again, we'll have close to 700 exhibitors in the exhibit hall, and that includes many startups. Hundreds of startups will be in our innovation area, as well as throughout the other parts of the exhibit hall. Some of the bigger startups, some of the scale ups will be back again. Our presenting sponsor, McKinsey and Company, is going to be back again. They're bringing the CEO of Liberty Mutual, Tim Sweeney. Liberty Mutual is like a Fortune 87 or something like that on the Fortune 500 list. So one of the top companies in America. We're going to have that CEO. Jesse Cole, who's the founder of the Savannah Bananas, will also keynote. Savannah Bananas has reinvented baseball. Banana ball is a completely new concept. And for people like me, I'll watch baseball kind of here and there, but to be able to see a game in 90 minutes is amazing. Really interesting concepts. He's going to talk about innovation, how he changed America's pastime, and he's just gone on a nationwide tour and sold out. He sold out Camden Yards up the street from me in Baltimore for a couple nights. Sold out in Yankee Stadium just a few weeks ago. He's gone all over, and the Savannah Bananas have gone all over the country, selling out major league ballparks with their new brand of baseball. So we're excited to hear what he has to say about it as well. But yeah, just a lot of enthusiasm. We're answering many, many, many thousands of inbound emails where folks are asking us, a variety of things. The app has launched. There have literally been over 3,000 meetings that have been, arranged on the app already. It just launched a week ago.
Wow.
So there's a lot happening already right now with 4 weeks to go.
Yeah. That's awesome. That's unbelievable. You touched on sort of what's new this year for people like me. I've been coming since 2019. Um, how about for first timers, right? Let's
Yeah.
say somebody has 24, 48, 72 hours. How would you help them maximize the return on investment of time they're making?
Yeah, that's a great question. The first timer experience is really important to us because a large percentage of the audience become first timers, and that's because companies send new people every time, right?
Hmm.
If you've been coming all the time, they might say, "Hey, we'll bring a colleague or whatever," or you come back and say, "Hey, I really had a great experience. I'm going to bring more people next year with me." So we see that. You see the audience demographic changing. It's becoming younger. Like I always joke, when I was 2016, I felt like I was one of the younger folks who was going in 2016 and one of the few people of color, right? Now I feel like, now again, I'm 10 years older. I feel like I'm one of the old heads, as I look at the audience. I'm like, wow, the audience really got young. And there are more people of color. There are more, certainly more women who make up a sizable portion of our audience. So it's really reflective of the insurance ecosystem as it is today, in reality, than, maybe what people thought insurance was back in the day. But back to your question, for first timers, we have a first timers webinar, which is coming up, if I'm not mistaken, on Wednesday, October 1st at 12 p.m. You can sign up on our ITC Vegas website, vegas.insurtechconnect.com. We encourage people to RSVP and register for that. We also have a first timers tour that happens and a first timers session on site. So Tuesday we'll have a informational session. Wednesday morning we do a tour of the exhibit hall, primarily to familiarize people with the exhibit hall, because as you know, when you walk in, it's like, oh my goodness, there's so much to see. Where do I start? So we do a little quick tour early in the morning before the hall opens up for everyone. So I encourage all the first timers to take advantage of those opportunities, but particularly the webinar. Like I said before, the app is open. Best way to navigate ITC Vegas is through our app. So if you're a registered attendee, go into the App Store, download the app, set up your profile first and foremost. Use the filters. Again, there are 9,000 people. There will be 9,000 or so people in the app, right? All the attendees are in the app. It's impossible to scroll through that many people, but use the filters. Who are you
Yeah.
looking to meet, right? And there are a gazillion different filters. There are many different keywords. We're doing something to the effect of, I think, 275 learning sessions or, workshops, etc. There are a lot of different learning opportunities. Use the filters based on what your interests are or who you're interested in meeting to, narrow down the sea of information and make it more manageable. But I encourage, again, the first timers, get in the app, start reaching out to people. And it's an event, this. It's an event. We called it InsurTech Connect back, when we started it. It's about connecting people in the ecosystem. People really want to connect. When you send them an invite, they will accept it. Or if they can't make it, they'll say, here's another time. But it is an event that is inherent on connecting people. So I tell first timers, like, you might think it's awkward to reach out to someone that you've never met before and say, hey, I want to have a 10-minute one-on-one meeting with you. Again, that's in the middle of the expo hall in our one-to-one meeting zone. People will accept those meetings. We did tens of thousands of meetings last year in that one-to-one meeting zone. And those are just the ones that, again, got arranged through the app. There are tens of thousands of more meetings that happen like in a serendipitous way,
Yeah.
just with all the different things that are going on. One more plug is we have ITC Vegas Week, and we've listed a bunch of things that our other sponsors and hosts and other folks that support ITC Vegas are hosting. They're hosting events, parties, cocktail receptions, etc. It's on our website. We're obviously doing a whole bunch too. We have receptions every day. We have the kickoff reception on Tuesday. That's going to be at the House of Blues. We've got the Expo Hall reception on Wednesday to close out the Expo Hall. We do that again on Thursday evening. We're continuing the long-standing tradition of having a closing concert. The Goo Goo Dolls, which is a Grammy-nominated group, they're going to be closing it out on Thursday evening. Super intimate concert. Literally, you'll be, just a couple of people. You'll be able to basically touch them. It's going to be incredible. There's just a lot to do. There's a lot to do. There's a lot to see, and a lot of fun to be had.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to that for sure. I'm bummed I missed Billy Idol's T-shirt many years back when he threw it in the crowd.
Billy Idol.
Uh,
I still think I think that was my favorite concert. We've had Salt and Pepper, Billy Idol, Ludacris, and Coolio. Coolio just happened to be there. I was like, hey, can I get on stage with Ludacris? Sure, come on. UB40, Earth, Wind, and Fire, Boys
yeah.
to Men last year, and the Goo Goo Dolls. I mean, it's epic. It really is a fun time.
It is for sure. Speaking of serendipity, is there maybe one story from 10 years of doing this that comes to mind? Something, two people maybe that met at ITC Vegas and then went on to do something incredible?
Boy, that's such an awesome question. And at the same time, I'll tell you, it's almost impossible for me to answer that because I literally hear stories like that all the time. So just a few days ago, I think it was the end of last week, like Thursday or Friday, I spoke to Karen Metha from Stitch Studio, and he said, "Hey, I've been coming to ITC since like 2017, maybe 2016, 2017, becoming like 8 or 9 of the last 9 years, right?" And he said, "I've started not one but 2 companies. I founded 2 companies based on people I've run into or things I heard at ITC." He already exited one. I think he did fairly well. And he's already on his second one.
Yeah.
And so I hear stuff like that all the time. I remember early on, there was a startup who was like, I got one of those little innovation kiosks that startups have, which are a little bit different than the booze, the turnkey and what have you. We try to make it easy for the startups. He's like, within 2 hours of the Expo opening, I got my first round of funding secured. I got one of my top board members, and I think he also found someone else, a mentor or someone else. Maybe it was like his chief technology officer. I can't remember the whole story, but it was Groundspeed, Jeff Mason at Groundspeed. But he was like, I basically went in with all these things that I needed, and within 2 hours, I checked all those boxes. So Unreal. I hear stories like that, Samir, all the time. It warms my heart because there's so many things that I hear, and I'm sure there's a lot of stuff that I don't even know about that happened at ITC, but there are a lot of great partnerships, and that's the beauty of ITC. It's really, like I said, there's so many people that are there. We've got the breadth. It doesn't matter really what you're doing in the insurance ecosystem, whether you're on the tech side, whether you're on the sales side, or claims, or underwriting, or what have you. Like, if you're doing something obscure like ILS or surety bonds or whatever, like there are people that are doing what you're doing, or captives or something like that. You had asked earlier about like some of the sessions. We've got like cool session on captives. We've got a cool session on like epigenetics, on the life and health side, also on like mental health. We've got a woman who is going to be talking about psychedelics and how like your group benefits might include in the near future like psychedelics. Obviously, we're going to be talking about AI. We've got cyber for our cyber summit. Distribution is throughout the entire agenda, and then also the mainstays like motor, automotive, home insurance. We'll be talking climate change and how that's affecting things. So there's a little bit of everything that's happening at ITC this year.
Yeah, that's unreal. I can personally attest there's no other place where I will find a higher density of collisions between people from all aspects of insurance around the world, in fact.
Right. Right. We'll have almost 60 countries again this year. And a lot of those collisions, like I said, it's serendipitous. Like you might be standing in line, at the coffee line or whatever, just waiting to get your cup of joe, getting a little kick, or at the, champagne wall or at the beer garden or whatever. And you'll just run into someone and be like, oh, okay, you read about like, oh, okay, hey, I'm Samir, or hey, I'm Bill or whatever. Like, what do you do? Who are you with? And those conversations are almost more valuable than the ones where you are very proactively trying to schedule something or whatever. Like you'll just run into the most amazing people at random. And if they don't know how to help you or whatever, if they're not who you're looking for, usually people tell me all the time, like, oh, someone who I ran into in the bathroom or whatever connected me to someone else who was here at the event. And it was, earth shattering for me.
Yeah. No, definitely I can attest to that myself as well. Hopefully it won't be the same as the long registration lines from a few years ago, but that was one time when I had the, most serendipitous conversations, because what else are you going to do?
Right. Yeah, we've solved that. A lot of it's self-serve. We've got QR codes now. That was back in 2017 at Seats.
Yes. Yeah.
Or no, 2018 at MGM. I'm sorry, but yeah.
Yeah. Well, look, Bill, thank you so much for joining here and sharing a little bit about the journey so far and what to expect this year. You've been very kind with our audience. I understand you have a discount that folks can use. We'll put it in the show notes.
Yeah.
One last question.
Yeah.
If you would, please finish this sentence, right? If you work in insurance and care about what's next, you should come to ITC Vegas because
the future of insurance literally is at ITC Vegas. The people, the ideas, the tech are all there. So if you're looking for investment, if you're looking for a partnership, if you're looking for a new piece of technology or how to leverage the technology, right? If you're looking for a new idea, if you're looking for a new employee or employer for that matter, all that literally is going to be at ITC Vegas in spades. So I encourage you to come. If anyone has any questions, I'm pretty easy to reach. Find me on LinkedIn, email me, bill@insurtechconnect.com or support@insurtechconnect.com. We pride ourselves on getting back to people pretty darn quickly. It is a crazy time of year for us, but yeah, if you reach out, we're here to help. So thank you for having us. Really, it's great to be on.
Thank you for coming on PremiumBytes, Bill.
And that's a wrap for today's conversation on PremiumBytes, where we shine a light on the unsung world of insurance technology leaders. Thank you for joining us on this adventure and being part of our community. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share, and follow us. Until next time, take care.